Hello guys and welcome back to another FPL video. My name is FPL Meerkat and today I've got a video for you guys diving into the fixtures for all 20 of the teams. The game's been out for a little while now, and before pre-season gets underway, I thought I'd give an overall look as to which teams have the best fixtures offensively and defensively to start off the season. So let's get straight into things. So before I analyse the fixtures, I'd just like to announce that I've partnered up with DraftHound this season. DraftHound is an assistant manager tool that gives you access to all kinds of data, predicted stats and metrics, and it just visually looks really clean. It's really nice of them because all the statistics you'll see on these videos are going to be provided by them, and I even use the app myself. I find it super useful. They've just relaunched for the new season, so if you like this video, you can find a link to DraftHound in the description to try it out for yourself. It's completely free to use, so there's no reason to not at least give it a try. And there's even a paid pro version that gives you access to more data to help you out this season. Also, if you like this video, be sure to drop it a like to let me know, and go over and follow my Twitter at FPL Meerkat. I'm on the brink of 1,000 followers and I'd love to hit it before the start of the season. So let's get straight into the teams that are worth targeting in my opinion on the site. The numbers you see here on screen, they're just the percentage chance of the team winning a fixture, which I think is a really cool feature. It doesn't just analyze how good the fixture is, it takes into account how good the team is with the fixture. So these are the top 7 predicted sides for the first 5 fixtures, and I think it's always good to build a team with the first few fixtures in mind rather than just the first one, as you only get one free transfer each game week, and as I found out last season, taking a lot of hits doesn't really work out too well. So as you can see here, Man City are the team that are most likely to start off well with the season, with an overall percentage of 387% win rate, an average of 77.4. So basically they're going to be favourites going into absolutely every game, and a massive stat you can see there with the Fulham fixture, 91% chance to win that fixture. Arsenal as well, second there in total overall percentage, 64.6% their average win percentage. And as you can see there, most of the teams here doing incredibly well. Brighton is actually a bit lower than I was expecting, at only 38.2% average win rate. They obviously have that great first fixture. In fact, their first 3 fixtures are really good, but then they have a little bit tougher fixtures there with the home fixture against Newcastle, which they are just given as favourites, and obviously the Man United game there, Man United are predicted to be favourites in that one. Obviously DraftHound will update these as the season goes along, but given before we have any pre-season information, this is what they've gone with, but obviously it will update if there are some really good looking teams in pre-season. So yeah, these are the top 7. Like the look of most of them. Surprising there, Liverpool being in 3rd despite their fixtures looking a bit tougher. Of course, Liverpool a top side, so that's taken it into account that they could still get off to a really good start. And they're actually so they're just predicted favourites against Chelsea there. But yeah, really good fixtures. The home fixture against Bournemouth and Aston Villa there, giving their average percentage to be the 3rd best. So yeah, basically picking players from these teams seems to be a major priority. They're the better teams and they have the good fixtures as well. It is the top 6 and Brighton included as well. So now on to the teams that I would personally be avoiding. Now these are the bottom 7 teams with their average win percentage, and as you can see there, they are all around about 22 to 25% there. The highest of the lot being Wolves with some okay fixtures. They're not actually favourites in any of their games at all, even the Crystal Palace away one. Obviously, it's very much favoured the home fixtures, the home advantage, as we saw last season, especially with the likes of Nottingham Forest. They were much, much better at home. And as you can see there with Nottingham Forest, despite their win percentage being so low, Home fixture against Sheffield United, home fixture against Burnley, massive win rate there, 46%. Well, massive in the context of this. It's not massive compared to some of the top teams. But yeah, of course, we could see some surprises here. But yeah, these are the teams I would be steering a bit clear of. Maybe the likes of a Mitrovic might be a bit difficult. Obviously, those first two games are okay, but then away to Arsenal, away to Man City, is Mitrovic going to do okay? Is he going to do well in those games? It's very unlikely. Burnley, though, with two all right fixtures after the horrible home game against Man City. Maybe you want to bench them. Maybe you think they pull a surprise against them for the opening day. But yeah, these are the teams that I'd be avoiding. And of course, here are the other 6 teams. So these are teams I would be considering. You've got the likes of Newcastle there with a really strong opening fixture, but their total overall win percentage is actually slightly lower than Brighton's, only just though. They've got 2 really good fixtures there with Aston Villa and Brentford, so a couple of their assets might do really well in those ones, but some tough fixtures against Man City, Liverpool and Brighton. But of course it's not massively low because we know Newcastle are a strong team. They can win these kind of games. But yeah, the likes of Brentford down here as well, West Ham, Everton, Aston Villa as well, with some very strong, strong fixtures combined with some really tough ones. So it depends what kind of strategy you want to go for. You can obviously play around on the site as well and mix and match some of the players with their fixtures, because of course if you've got a good option for game week 1. And game week 4, you could still pick an Aston Villa asset because they've got 3 really good fixtures there in the first 5 and 2 tougher ones. So as you can see there, maybe West Ham actually have got 2 good fixtures in 1 and 4. So it might be good to partner up an Aston Villa asset with a West Ham asset. So yeah, I would be considering these teams, but they're not the best. So moving on from overall win percentage, we've got here the best defenses. Now I thought I'd break it down a little further and look specifically into the defense and the attack. These numbers that you see on screen are the clean sheet odds that have been given for every single team. Obviously that's the priority of getting points for defenders. As you can see there, obviously Man City top for expected clean sheets there, 2.73 over the first 5 games. They are almost more likely to keep a clean sheet in every single game than not. Only Newcastle and then also West Ham away. West Ham do have a history of scoring against them. But yeah, so their average win percentage, clean sheet percentage, sorry, being 54.6% over every single game. So yeah, these are pretty much the top 7 defenses. Again, it's very, in fact it is the same 7 teams with the highest win percentages as well. Man United though with a couple of tougher fixtures there, but 3 really nice home games. Even the Brighton one might be quite nice there for keeping a clean sheet. But yeah, Arsenal and Man City clearly the standout ones, and also Liverpool with some pretty good odds for expected clean sheets. If you're looking for the likes of a Trent or maybe saving money by going for a Van Dijk or a Robertson, we could see a lot more clean sheets from Liverpool is what the data is telling us here. And yeah, also Spurs impressively high with 1.94 expected clean sheets, expected to get at least around about 2 over that period of time. If you're considering a Spurs defender, I haven't seen Spurs defenders in many drafts there. So yeah, Spurs also might be one worth considering, as well as the other 3 on that list. Chelsea doing pretty well as well, with Man United and Brighton as the 7th best. And of course, moving on to the attack, and what do you know it, it's Man City on top yet again. So this is a really cool part about the site. It's very unique to DraftHound. These are the percentage chances of the team scoring 2 or more goals. I think that's a really cool idea, because you don't just want to be picking players that score 1 goal, do you? You want to pick the ones that have got the whole percentage. And of course, you want to look at the teams that have that whole potential. They're going to score lots and lots of goals. So of course, Man City there, their percentage, their odds to score more than 2 goals in a game is actually on average above 50%. They're more likely to score 2 goals in their games than not, which is quite incredible there. And Brighton's still the 7th highest, despite looking pretty tough there. Those are tough attacking fixtures on paper. The Luton game, obviously, really, really good. It might be good to have them for that first game week, but maybe worth considering switching out. Obviously, the 3rd best for that first game. But overall, quite tough for Brighton. And also, obviously, Arsenal with the Hall potential as well, with those really, really strong opening fixtures. Spurs and Liverpool as well, if you're like me and you're considering going Kane or Salah or both rather than a Haaland. There is certainly Hall potential as well in those games, although we do remember Salah blanking against Bournemouth twice last season, so who knows there. And he also famously does quite badly in game week 2, so it seems to be a very cursed fixture, that one. But yeah, that's just speculation, and what the data is saying is that these are the 7 best attacking teams on paper. And just to wrap up this video, I thought I'd put together a draft that utilizes all the information that I've mentioned. So I've ranked the best attacks and defenses here based on the predictions used, and then added players to the team who have good expected minutes. So this is something you can do on the site. You can see at the top there, you can show that your team by various expected metrics. And one of my favorites is the expected minutes. As we saw last season, rotation was quite a killer, so I really like this metric on basically selecting the right players. I think DraftHound's also going to have a predicted lineups feature that's coming out later in July, so be sure to check that out when that arrives, because I know I will be, because when it comes to predicting who's going to start, the computers stand a much better chance at predicting it than I do. So yeah, you can see here Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool and Spurs, the 4 best defences. So I've added in a defender or a goalkeeper from all 4 of those teams, and then I've chosen the defender with the best expected minutes. So Alexander-Arnold, surprisingly, with 80 predicted there. Obviously, Liverpool have quite a set backline, so it's pretty... I'd like to just spend the money to go for Trent for the attacking potential as well. When it comes to Arsenal, I do like the look of Ramsdale. He does get the save points, and he is the same price as all the defenders, so I think he does stand a chance of outscoring the likes of Gabriel or Zinchenko. Of course, Timber coming into the side as well. We're not too sure how he's going to fit in. There's been talks a lot about a back 3 for Arsenal with Saliba, Gabriel, Timber, and then Zinchenko pushing up higher. Maybe White drops out. Maybe White becomes an inverted centre-back. We know he can play centre-back, becomes the right centre-back, but so yeah, it's all up in the air. And Romero being the highest predicted minutes for Spurs there. We don't really know how Postecoglou is going to run his side. Of course, these expected minutes are before pre-season has even begun. They'll have a much better understanding of what the minutes are going to be like once those get underway. And John Stones there being the best for expected minutes out of the Man City defenders. Of course, you could go for an Ederson, but yeah, I've never gone for Ederson, and I don't think I ever will. And then obviously going on to the attackers, I've sorted them by the most likely to score goals, because that's what we're all there for. Again, it's the same 4 teams at the top, but also Chelsea, Man United and Brighton up there. Of course, Brighton with that really good first fixture. So I've put in the highest expected minutes player that I could afford for every single team. That I also like the look of. I haven't included the likes of McAllister. His expected minutes are high, but I just don't know how attacking is going to be in Liverpool's new formation. Bruno Fernandes, an absolute set player. Madueke was one that surprised me. I think they're onto something with that. 75 predicted minutes. I don't think there's much competition over on the right. Maybe Sterling moves over to the right and Mudryk plays on the left for Chelsea. But Madueke's been phenomenal during the under-21s tournament. In fact, the entire England team was absolutely amazing. Definitely got my eye on Gibbs White. But yeah, we could easily see Madueke slot into the team there. Son as well. There wasn't enough funds to go for Kane. But yeah, Son obviously were really good expected minutes there. Saka as well. Ødegaard and Saka are very close in terms of expected minutes. It's very expected that they'll both start most, if not every game. But I think Saka is just got the higher potential for points, despite the fact Ødegaard did outscore him last season, so maybe that's one to keep my eye on. And I've also put Gross in this team. He is the highest expected minutes of the Brighton midfielders, and I do think that the likes of a Matoma can have very much purple patches. They can be really good or really poor. Gross was quite consistently good throughout the season. He was a lot better at the start, but he did rack up points, and now McAllister is gone. He will be on penalties, so he's got that to his game. Obviously, Haaland in the team too. And Gakpo I've put in. Gakpo and Nunez actually have the same predicted minutes. It's not really known which is going to start up front at the moment. I do think it's going to be Gakpo, but we will see more. We'll get more information in pre-season. There could even be an experimentation with the formation to play both Nunez and Gakpo in maybe a different formation. And yeah, with the money that I've sort of saved through picking a team like this, I've also managed to bolster out the bench with high expected minutes players. So Pickford there, Bayer, who is expected to be a starting centre-back for Burnley. Again, we will get early team news about that first game, so that'll be a great indication for us. Bell, who is predicted to start, but I think he's away with Jamaica currently. I don't know if he'll be back in time for game week 1. And there weren't any 4 million starting goalkeepers, according to the site. It is predicted that Fabianski will be the starting goalkeeper for West Ham, but we will see again in pre-season if Areola becomes the starting goalkeeper. There weren't any 4.5 million forwards who start, but Adebayo for Luton is a 5 million attacker. I think he's the only one who is predicted to start, and expected minutes of 70 there. Obviously not the best choice from Luton. That goes to Morris, but saving that 0.5 million by going for Adebayo allowed to bolster the team elsewhere. So every player in the side is above 60 minutes, which of course is crucial if you're a defender and you need to get that clean sheet point. Sorry, those clean sheet points. And of course, if you're an attacker, the more minutes you're on the pitch, the more likely you are to score. You don't want to be picking players who are going to be starting their games on the bench. And that's it for this video, guys. I hope you have enjoyed. Leave a comment if you like this style of video, diving into a specific topic and analysing just a single aspect of the game. Again, there's a link to DraftHound down in the description. And let me know which teams do you think are going to surprise us at the start of the season? I know Luton have some quite rough odds when it comes to their first 5 games, but I'm really rooting for them to surprise us all and get a win or 2 in those first 5 games. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next FPL video.